All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the trade report for Tuesday, May 15th, 2019, actually May 14th. Let's look at SPY here. We are actually green this morning, which, we're very extended to the downside, so not surprising that we would open green. Don't get too excited. A green candle is not a significant clue for us. We have no idea right now if this is a dead cat bounce where we consolidate for a little bit and then make the next leg down, or a test of the 200-day moving average, or if this marks a low here and we start to bounce. And we have no news. Maybe if there was some really good news and we were opening green, we could make some kind of determination. But at 0.6% after this big move down, not really telling us much. So remain patient. This does absolutely nothing in terms of changing our outlook at this point, which is basically to remain patient and wait for a market signal. If we look at the cues here, pretty much the same thing. And then IWM as well, looking actually even uglier than the other two. Might be a good spot here actually to take a shot at maybe a short here with IWM. We could take TZA, we could take SQQQ, with the Qs. Now, this would be a speculative position because, again, we don't have an edge. But, in terms of risk reward, if you want to make a trade, you could do that. So that's the indexes, and we have some of the areas we've been watching. SMH, so extended to the downside. We want to see a bigger bounce than this to really get a good clue. Financials here, XLF testing the key moving averages. Oil here, not really giving us any kind of significant move. The pot ETF MJ is up 2%, but again, not really giving us a good signal at all. And while we're at it, let's just look at some of these other sectors here. Russia bouncing strong this morning. India bouncing strong. Basically, a lot of the BRICS here. UWT 4%, but really not doing anything in terms of the overall pattern. China bouncing strong this morning, stronger than the U.S. market. That's something to pay attention to. Brazil is actually red this morning, and then we have energy green as well. So nothing really significant here for us. I am building a list of focus list stocks, and let's take a look at some of them. These are relative strength stocks that if we do see improvement in the market, these should do well because they've held up well during this market pullback. And an easy way for you to find relative strength stocks is just ask yourself, if I was looking at the chart, would I know that the market is tanking? You can use things like percentage scans, looking at stocks that might be above their nines, above their 50-day moving averages, or certain percentages versus the indexes. But I like to simply go through, and I do some of that, but I like to go through my list and just ask myself. You just ask yourself that question, that gives you a good feel for if it's a relative strength stock or not. If I looked at FSLR, I would have no idea that the market has been tanking. It looks like, it broke out and it's just consolidating, versus what the market is doing here, pulling back hard here. So FSLR, definitely a relative strength stock. It's pulled back slightly, but still holding its earnings breakout range. And if it got up above the 9, I think that would be a good signal for FSLR. Roku, obviously here you would have no idea that the market is tanking. Broke out on earnings, consolidating, high tight flag, hasn't pulled back deep. A break of the high here I think would be a good signal. Or if it pulled back to 75 and held that 9, it would be a good signal as well. Boom. Metal fabrication stock, again, you'd have no idea that the market is tanking at this point. It's just been consolidating here after a big run. It should have pulled back deeper if it was doing what the market is doing. Military defense, we've got some good stocks in military defense. LMT has held its earnings breakout range, is actually above the candle from that day and holding the 9. I actually think it's at a good entry point right here. So if you did want to say, you know what, I'm not sure of what's happening in the market, but I do want to be in 1 or 2 positions, I think LMT is a good one. Not that we have any guarantee that it'll hold up, but it has, I think, a good edge compared to other stocks. And another military defense stock, AAXN, or Aerospace and Defense, also has been very strong through this period and is breaking the 9 this morning. Facebook has actually been weak here, has broke down below its earnings breakout level here. And that's not good, but it is now testing the 50-day moving average. So that's why I have it on my list. This is not a relative strength stock, but I want to see how it handles the 50-day moving average. This could be a good bounce spot, especially if the market starts to recover. Twitter holding its breakout level here. Let's see how it handles this, we'll say 37 range here. If it can hold this level and maybe break the 9, we'd have a good entry in Twitter. And we've got a few more here. Team. Also, again, you would never know that the market has been pulling back here. If it pulls back to the 9 and holds that level, that would be nice. I think if it breaks this candle here at 125, that would set it up as well. WK, we're going to see a lot of software stocks here as well. Has been very strong, has not pulled back with the market. MDB has pulled back, but holding its earnings breakout range. I think a break of 35, which would break this kind of flag pattern here and get it up over the 9, would be a good setup. Vive, break of the 9 would be good for Vive, and then Shutterfly, break of the 9 as well, has been very strong while the market has been, it's been a weak stock here, but while the market has been pulling back, Shutterfly has been going this way. So I think a break of the 9 would be good there. So if you are looking, maybe I take a shot here or there, but if you were looking to do something today, I think taking a shot at one of these relative strength stocks and maybe balanced by a short in one of the indexes, like taking TZA for the small cap short or SQQQ for the Q short, might be a good way to play it, and you'd be hedged with one long and one short. So if you're looking to do something, that's a strategy you could use today.